Hi guys, my name is Stanley. I'm with RC Tank Legion. Thank you for watching my channel. Today we're going to talk about IR battle for RC tanks.
It's basically kind of like laser tag, but it uses infrared to transmit a light wave to the receiver, and the receiver would receive it, and then the MFU, such as your Heng Long MFU or your L-Mord or your TK board or your IBU, would receive that information and then let the tank know that it's being shot, and then it will give a reaction. With the more advanced boards, such as the L-Mord, TK, Clark board, IBU, etc., they would give a LED lights that light up and then let you know that it's being hit. Whereas with the Heng Long or Taigen system, because they don't have such a sophisticated lighting system, right? So what it does is that they have a spasm. When you get shot, the tank kind of spasms to visually let you know that the tank has been hit. So as you can see over here, this is an IR LED. It differs than most LEDs because most LEDs are usually with clear. With the super bright LEDs now, they are clear, or they have a tint of the color that they're supposed to be, like red for red, amber for amber. But with this purplish color looking one, this violet looking one, this is meant for IR, and when you shoot it, you can't see it with your naked eye. When it lights up, you can't see it with the naked eye. But if you light it up and you use a camera that's capable of seeing infrared, you can see there's a flash. Okay, I'm just using my multimeter with the LED test port over here to light it up, and you can see very clearly in the camera on the video that is lit up. But to my naked eye, from my viewpoint, I see nothing. I don't see anything. But on the camera, it's very clearly lit up. So for me, it actually looks like this. But you know, that's because the IR infrared wavelength is beyond our human eyes, so we can't see it. What is IR battle receivers and stuff like that? As you can see here, the IR battle actually started with the Tamiya series or the TBU. Because in a way, I would think the Tamiya invented IR battling because they are the one who created RC tanks, and then they have this system. So this is the Tamiya Battle Unit, TBU, also known as the Apple. This is a very sophisticated receiver. It actually has one receiver inside, and it has all these fins here to eliminate sunlight and all kinds of other infrared lights that may be interfering, or when you shoot at it, it only will enter at a very direct angle. Also, it comes with a very well-engineered color filter for the IR, so it will only receive the wavelength of this particular IR LED, because there are other infrared wavelength light source that can be from the sun, that can be from your other things that may be reflecting off surfaces and stuff like that, and that may cause a infrared wavelength. Because I've experienced it with other things before, and the receiver was picking up stuff that was not meant from the IR LED. So this is meant for it. And as you can see here, it has 4 LEDs, and this is used as a hit indicators. Okay, and it is quite well made compared to the Heng Long copy, as you can see, some of you may recognize. This is the Heng Long copy, and it was formerly chrome fins, but I sanded them down to make them matte black, because underneath the chrome finish is actually matte plastic, or flat black, as some of you call it. Okay, they basically copied the Tamiya TBU, as you can see, and for some reason they call this the mushroom. They also have a receiver inside. It also has a prism, just like the Tamiya. The Tamiya has a prism, and it does not have any hit indicators LEDs or on the outside. So what Heng Long do, as I explained earlier, is that when you transmit an infrared light and it receives it, the tank knows that it's hit. It will do a spasm because it does not have the hit indicator LED. Whereas with the Tamiya DMD, the Clark board, L-Mord, IBU, etc., they would have the capability to light up the hit indicator LEDs, which is this. That's why you have five pins versus the Heng Long 2 pins, because the excess 2 pins are to light up the LEDs. So we have over here, just to show you guys, this is a IR config line, but you can also use it as a battle system, but I don't recommend it at all because this IR receiver is way too sensitive. I could point the IR transmitter, such as the Sony remote control, if you've seen our video previously. I could point it over here in another direction, but it bounces off surfaces and this will receive it, and it will receive the signal, which is not good because you obviously want the tank to be pointing in your receiver's direction to be considered a hit. You don't want the tank to be pointing like this direction, but it bounces off all the surfaces and then receives a hit. That's not fair, or that doesn't make any sense, obviously. So this is good if you want to program your tank, but if there are guys that I know, because we're trying to promote IR Battle now, and there are people who's exploring all this, and of course they found out about IR receivers and stuff like that, and then because they want to hide the IR receiver, they want to make it look nice and everything and scale. Problem is, it defeats the purpose of the gaming, because to game you have to have the receivers in a easy to receive location. If there's something blocking it, obviously your receiver does not receive the infrared light. So that's why we highly recommend you must use something like this, okay, or like something like what we call the PIRANHA. I'll talk about the PIRANHA in a minute. And you cannot hide your infrared receivers too well, because that way your tank cannot be hit. That doesn't make any sense. Also, something about these is that we realized that if you were to expose your receiver like this, it will also react to all kinds of interferences, such as if you play in the outdoors with the sunlight shining. We have proven that the sunlight interferes with the receiver, and you may need to come to a really short distance, such as 2-3 feet away, before he actually receives the hit. It's kind of like your camera is blinded by the light. Okay, so imagine this is like your camera or your eyes, and then and you're looking in the sunlight, and if I shine a torchlight at you, you can't see the torchlight because it's not bright enough. But it works perfectly fine indoors, but with indoors you got all these surfaces to reflect light. That doesn't work. So yeah. So as you can see here, we have the Tamiya TBU apple, the Heng Long mushroom, and just so you know, they don't manufacture these anymore. Recently, Heng Long has made an innovation using an IR receiver with a fancy housing and a magnetic bottom, where you could stick on to your turret of your tank. The problem is, I'll show you in a video real quick.
Shoot. No reaction in sun.
Receiver, as I explained earlier, is blinded by the sunlight, whereas with this TBU, or even the Heng Long HBU unit, is relatively protected from the sun because of the fins. Hence, that's why Tamiya engineered this really, really well. In fact, I would say it's over-engineered. Okay, so we have the PIRANHA. The PIRANHA has the IR receivers on all 4 corners, and it has the hit indicated LEDs, which you can see on the white little one here. But of course, according to the manufacturer, you could dismantle the IR or disable the IR LED just by unplugging this plug and leave the 5 plugs on. 5 wire pins on. The housing provides shielding for the IR receiver, so it doesn't get too sensitive or not sensitive, which is the opposite. So it actually has a 3D printed housing. When you buy it from us, we sell it with the housing. And again, this is very well engineered and designed. Very well done to Kevin, the guy who designed and made this. I don't understand what is the differences between all these systems. It's very easy. After doing some research, we found out there are 3 battle codes in existence that we know of. First is the Tamiya, which is the most popular. Everybody builds according to the system. TK Clark, L-Mod, IBU, they all have their own boards, but they all are configured for the Tamiya system. So you can play with a Tamiya tank, no problem. Then the second most popular one, which is the Heng Long, simply because there's so many Heng Long tanks in this world. The Heng Long has their own code, and they have a fixed life of 5 lives. There is no light tank, medium tank, heavy tank whatsoever. You cannot program it. And instead of a hit indicator LED, as I said earlier, there is a spasm. Okay, and lastly, Taigen, which is the newcomer relatively on the market. Taigen made their own battle code for some reason. I don't know why. The Taigen system only can play with another Taigen tank. It's not compatible with the Heng Long, which is what I thought initially. What's the difference between Tamiya, Apple, the Heng Long, Mushroom, the Piranha, and also a generic IR receiver? The difference is that these are all in different packages and engineered for a sole purpose for IR battle. Some people ask me this question: is it compatible? You know, do you have to use Tamiya just for Tamiya, or do you have to use Piranha for specifically for another board? No, the answer is no. You can actually use any of this with your TK Clark board, your Tamiya, and stuff like that. The real difference is the engineering that they put into it. This is the bottom end of the spectrum, and this is the top end of the spectrum. Okay, I hope this video has been informative and answers all your questions regarding IR battle for RC tanks. So if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to comment in the section below. And as usual, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.